I'm Houston Require, been from Pepland School.
And David Elarem Donko in final year.
Okay.
Audu Karim, final year, representing Madonna Brukum.
Okay.
Yaboa Benson, final year.
Okay. Have you been to the national contest before?
No, this is our first time.
This is your first time. So per plank too. This is your first time. Okay, so you are both first timers. And you are going against each other. Okay. So all the best and you're welcome.
Thank you.
So we'll start with the first half of the first round. So you know the drill. We have questions, biology, chemistry, physics, and agricultural science. So you have 15 seconds for short answer problems, 20 seconds for short explanatory answers, 35 seconds for calculations and other explanatory questions. I'm going to ask you the questions. If you have the answer, you press your bell, and then you wait to be called, and then you give me the answer. Are your bells working? Okay. All right. So we'll start. Biology explanation. So you have 35 seconds. The cactus is a succulent perennial plant usually found in dry regions. It poses adaptations that enable it to survive in its dry habitat. How does its roots adapt it for survival?
Peprank.
Its roots goes deep into the soil and then absorb the water and keeps it for the plants to use.
Okay, all right, I'll give it to you. Okay, biology short answer. You have 15 seconds. The cactus is a succulent perennial plant usually found in dry regions, and it possesses adaptations that enable it to survive in its dry habitat. Apart from preventing water loss, reflecting light, and radiating heat from the stems, what other purpose?
Peprank.
To prevent animals from eating the plant.
Okay, I'll give it to you. So that's correct. Physics calculation, you have 35 seconds. If you were asked to pack a rectangular metallic block of dimensions 150 centimeters by 100 centimeters by 200 centimeters on a side of the block that exerts the least pressure on the ground, which side of the block will you lay on the floor? And how much pressure will it exert on the floor if the block weighs 100 Newton?
What do you get?
Madonna.
Yes, Madonna.
The side weights 200 centimeters and 100 centimeters, which exerts a pressure of 200 Pascal.
Okay, so I'll give you half because it was in two forms. So which side of the block will you lay on the floor? So you had that part right. So the 100 by the 200 centimeter side. But then the pressure exerted will be 50 Newton per meter squared or 50 Pascal. So we give them half the point, so 1.5. Okay, so physics short answer. 15 seconds. Nitrogen narcosis, also known as depth intoxication, is a reversible alteration in the consciousness of a sea diver while diving to lower depths of the ocean. It is as a result of nitrogen gas in the inhaled air dissolving into the blood and subsequently into the body tissues of a diver at lower depths of the ocean. What physical exertion is responsible for the dissolution of nitrogen into a diver's blood?
Madonna.
Diffusion.
No.
Time.
Okay, so pressure. The last question, chemistry reaction. You have 35 seconds. Ammonia gas can be prepared in the lab by boiling a mixture of an ammonium salt and an alkali. If a student attempted preparing ammonia gas by boiling ammonium nitrate and sodium hydroxide, write a balanced chemical equation for this process.
Madonna.
NH3 SO4 plus H2O.
No.
Time.
Okay, so it's NH4NO3 plus NaOH going into NaNO3 plus H2O plus NH3. So that brings us to the end of the first half. So now we move to the hot lab. So your practical activity is on soil moisture and porosity. Okay. So soil moisture content, drainage and aeration are critical for terrestrial plant growth and health. Soil acts as a reservoir to hold water and supply moisture to plant roots. Water is a primary factor in a plant's ability to produce organic matter and energy from photosynthesis. It's also used as the solvent for nutrients and as an agent to transport food through a plant's vascular system. Plants use water to cool themselves through transpiration and as a tool to vary turgidity for root and shoot growth. Terrestrial plants also depend on sufficient soil aeration. Without oxygen in the soil, most plant roots will quickly rot. Internal or subsurface soil drainage is the process responsible for maintaining moisture levels and aerating the soil. So you are going to be provided with 2 soil samples. So they are labeled A and B. So as a Brain Battle Quiz junior scientist, you are to carry out an experiment to compare the rate of water drainage in the 2 soil samples, and from your recorded observations, identify the 2 soil samples. So you classify them as loamy, sandy, clay. Please make sure you record your observations and state clearly your conclusion with the associated reason for your classification of each sample as either clay or loamy. So you are going to be provided with 2 funnels, cotton wool, 2 measuring cylinders, and a sachet of water. Based on your experiment, you let us know which soil sample is least likely to support plant growth in relation to the nutrients needed for plant growth. So are we ready? You can move to the lab. So at the end of the hot lab, Peplank had 8 points and Madonna had 10 points. So at the end of the round, Peplank had 14 points and Madonna had 11.5 points. So we move on to the second round. Okay, so this is your toss-up questions. You have your long answer questions with which you take 35 seconds to answer, and then the short answer problems with which you are given 15 seconds to answer. Question 1. Interests are paid on investments made or a loan taken. They are calculated based on a given percentage called rate over a period of time. Frances is going to take a holiday in future, and she believes she will need to have at least 6,000 Ghana cedis for the trip. She can afford to invest 2 Ghana cedi per month. If the investment pays 5% interest per month, how long will it take before she has sufficient funds to make the trip?
Time.
So 25 months. Next question. A school of 518 students and 37 teachers are going camping. They hired some buses to take them. If a bus can carry 80 people, how many buses would they need? So short answer, you have 15 seconds.
Time.
So 7 buses. Your next question is short answer. You have 15 seconds. Time, they say, is the unit of life. Time can be measured in seconds, minutes, hours, days, etc. It is defined as the period between 2 events. Joe is learning to play the trumpet. On Monday, he practiced from 6:30 p.m. to 7:05 p.m. On Tuesday, he practiced from 3:55 p.m. to 4:24 p.m. How many minutes did he practice in all over the 2 days?
Pepran.
Yeah,
64 minutes.
okay, that's correct. N% of a value is the nth part of the value when the value is divided into 100 parts. When values are expressed as percentages, calculations done with them or analyzing them is much simpler than in the raw form. There are 30 Form 3 students and 40 Form 2 students in a group. 20% of these Form 2 students and 25% of the Form 3 students are fair. How many students in the group are not fair in complexion? Yes.
15 and a half.
No.
44 and a half.
No.
That's all.
Okay, so it's 54 students. Next, short answer question. So it's about fractions. Ella has half a pizza left in the fridge. Okay, no, sorry. So short answer, you have 15 seconds. It's about division and division. Division. It takes 12 cubes or blocks to build a staircase with 3 steps. How many blocks will be needed for 11 steps?
Madonna.
44.
That's correct. And now to the last question. So percentage increase. In the year 2020, a 32-inch flat screen TV cost 500 cedis. In 2023, this same television cost 940 Ghana cedis. What is the percentage increase in the price of the television over the 3-year period?
Madonna.
Yes, Madonna.
88%.
That's correct. So that brings us to the end of the first half of the second round. Now to the rapid fire. So you're going to be given a set of questions, 8 questions. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you can. If I'm reading a question and you have the answer, you can stop me and give the answer. If I'm reading you can stop me and give the answer. Okay. So if I finish reading that question and I move on to the next question, you cannot come back to give me the answer for the question I've already read. Is that okay? All right. So we'll start with Madonna. So you can turn your sheet. Your time starts now. What is the LCM of 20?
5.
No. What is 4% of 50?
2.
Correct. How many quarters can go into 3?
Pass.
Factorize completely.
Pass.
What is the mean of x minus
Pass.
3? Simplify.
Pass.
Okay, convert 305 centimeters. The area of a circle is 72 centimeters squared. What is the area of a quadrant of the circle?
18 centimeters squared.
That's correct.
Question number 9. The LCM is 60.
No.
Question number 10. Hey, question number 11.
Yeah.
3 and 4.
Which 11? There's no 11. There are 8 questions. So what's the question
Time.
number? The third one. What's the answer? What did you
3
say?
and 4.
No.
So time up.
No. Okay, so 2 out of 8.
Are we allowed to turn it now? Bring it in.
Okay, so per plank, you have the same rules. Your time starts now. How many 2/3 can go into 16?
Pass.
Simplify 0.45 over 0.5 times
Pass.
0.3. Factorize completely 35a.
Pass.
The area of a circle is 81 centimeters squared. What is the area of a sector of the circle with angle 60 degrees?
Pass.
Convert 2019 centimeters.
Pass.
What is the LCM of 40?
Pass.
What is 8% of 60?
Pass.
What is the mean of y minus?
Pass.
15.
What's 15? Which
7.
question?
4.8.
Okay, that's correct.
Number 9.
There's no 9.
1. 24.
Which? Number 1, 24. Okay, that's correct.
Time.
Okay, so 2 out of 8.
Madam, please question. I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes. The question 1.
Mm-hmm.
I first of all said 5 and later came to say 60. You said I'm wrong.
So it's 3. Sorry, it's 3 out of 8. So it's Madonna, they had 3 out of 8, but Per Planck had 2 out of 8. Okay, so Madonna had 9 points and Per Planck had 5 points. Okay. If there are any substitutions, coaches, you have 2 minutes. So we are moving on to the third round. Okay. So we have 4 categories: true or false, riddles, black scientists, tech bites. If you have the answer, you press the bell, you are called, you give me the answer. If you get a wrong answer in the true or false, you get -1. With the riddles, if you answer on the first clue, you get 3 points. On the second clue, you get 2 points. On the third and any other clue, you get 1 point. You have only 1 attempt. Okay. So, Per Planck.
True or
Your
false?
category, true or false? A fertilized ovule results in the formation of an ovum. True.
True.
No,
No, Madonna.
it was Madonna that answered.
False.
Okay, that's correct. Your category,
Riddles.
riddles. First clue. I am an essential atomic particle of great importance.
Madonna.
Nucleus.
No. So now Peplan. Second clue. I am present in all elements except hydrogen.
What is the name?
Third clue. Electrically, I am neither here nor there, though my presence is always felt in terms of weight. The fourth. Okay, Peplan.
The mass number.
Pardon?
Mass number.
No. So it's a neutron. Okay, so Madonna, your category. Because you started.
Riddles.
Riddles. First clue. I am a major. No, sorry. Sorry, first clue. I may be homo or heteronuclear as I consist of the same atoms or different atoms. Second clue. I consist of one of the building blocks of matter held together by attractive forces. Third clue. I am a building block of matter and considered very stable. Fourth clue. Two or more atoms can unite to form me. Who am I?
Peprank.
Pardon?
Peprank.
Peplank. Peplank.
Mass.
No.
Element.
Okay, Madonna.
Matter.
No. So a molecule. So your category.
Riddles.
Riddle. So the last riddle. I am a stable element of very great interest. Second clue. I am very useful in the glow lamp industry.
Madonna.
Madonna.
Argon.
No. I
Peprank.
Peplan.
Peprank.
Neon.
That's correct. So they get 2 points. Okay, so your category.
True or false?
True or false? Vast distances between stars in space is measured in light years. True or false?
True.
You
Peprank.
have to wait to be called.
Peprank.
So they've said it. So it's correct. Your category. Please do not give the answer if you have not been called. Okay.
True or false?
True or false? So the last true or false. A semicircle of radius 14 centimeters has an area of 44 centimeters squared.
False.
Madonna.
False.
Madonna.
Okay, so that's correct. So now your category.
Black scientist.
Black scientists. I was born at Enum in the Eastern region on 10th January 1925. I attended a primary school in Abetifi, Kweu, and a middle school in Chebi. Between 1939 and 1946, I had my secondary school education at Achimota College. While at school, I took the London University International Examination to continue my education, courtesy of a government scholarship at the University of Birmingham. I was the only female student on the campus. Who am I?
Madonna.
Madonna?
Madame Sylvia Annie.
No.
Time.
Okay, so it's Dr. Letitia Shelby. My principal aim is to judiciously use the $498.2 million investment from the Millennium Challenge Corporation to improve electricity generation and supply to individuals and companies. This agreement has a 5-year time frame within which all aspects of the agreement must be fulfilled. Who am I?
Time.
Okay, so yeah, in Tiamwa Bedu. So your category,
Tech bite.
tech bite. What is the difference between a set and a list in
Preprank.
Peplan?
A list can contain different types of elements, whilst a set contains specific types of elements.
No. Sorry, please hold on. Please
A,
say it again.
a list contains different types of data types, whilst set contains a specific number of elements.
No. Yes, Madonna.
A list uses the square bracket, whilst a set uses the curly bracket.
No, that's not what I want. No. So a set is an unordered collection of unique elements, but for the list, it's an ordered collection of elements, but it may have duplicates. Are you okay? So next category,
Tech bite.
tech bytes. Okay. What is a dictionary in Python?
Preprank.
A dictionary can hold key values to an element. A dictionary holds key values to an element.
So that's correct. So your category, tech bytes. Sorry. How do you check if a key exists?
Preprank.
You check. You use the class and you put the variable inside, or the type.
You use the what?
Class, and you bring the function class and you put a variable inside.
Okay, so no. You are checking how if a key exists in a dictionary in Python. So then what you are going to is you are using the in keyword. You are using the in keyword. Okay, so we have one last black scientist. I did my undergraduate studies in mathematics at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana, graduating with first class honors. After additional study at the University of Cambridge, I moved to McGill University in Canada, where I worked with Sherwin Maslow. I earned a master's degree at McGill in 1996 with a master's thesis on forced Rossby wave packets in a zonal shear flow in the presence.
Madonna.
Professor Francis Aluti.
Professor?
Francis Aluti.
No. In the presence of critical layers. Who am I? Yes.
Preprank.
Felix Konoti.
No. So Lucy Jean Campbell. And on that note, we come to the end of this contest. Thank you. I even have one. So at the end of this round, Madonna had 6 points and Per Planck had 8 points. So at the end of the contest, Madonna had 26.5 points. And Per Planck had 27 points. So, with half a point, Per Planck moves on to the next round. Madonna, thank you for coming.
David, are you crying?
And better luck next year.
Okay, so thank you very much for staying. We will retire to bed tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll meet in church. Thank you. Good night.
Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic.